Hi guys, and welcome to the State of Crypto, your one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 104. FinCEN cracks on crypto. Nothern Bitcoin merges with leading competitor, and 100 banks in India sign up with Ripple's xCurrent. Now, happy Monday, guys. Hope you're having a great day, even though the market has been going down. We kind of talked about that happening yesterday. We even gave you potential scenarios that could play out. So if you're catching this stream live, welcome. And if you're catching the replay and have any suggestions for us, please leave us a comment below. We really want to know what you are thinking. Now, if you want to keep up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button and that bell so you're notified when we go live. And if you want to keep on chatting with us once the stream is on, you can join us on the Discord. The link is in the description. We are also active on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So any of those ways of communicating with us are probably good. I would say Discord and Twitter are probably the best. Comments on YouTube are also really good. So those three are on the top. And then the other ones, right? Facebook or, Instagram. It's probably the one I check the least right now. I don't have that much content there. Anyways, let's get on to that other screen, you guys. Where we do our stuff, right? Yeah, so let's get on with this show. So if you guys have been with us for a while, you probably know that we do article analysis. We're kind of switching that up. Right now we're running all the articles first and then doing all the analysis towards the end. I believe it has been working a little bit better. Some of you, I've gotten some positive feedback from you guys, at least via private messages. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the way this show is running now. And yeah, let's get on with the news, right? FinCEN chief cracks whip hard on world of cryptocurrencies, right? This is from Being Crypto. Now, the U.S. government is coming to grips with a firm but fair approach to cryptocurrency regulators. That's how regulations. That's how the article starts. Again, the article is pretty good. It's quite small, not too lengthy. So again, not much you could really take out of it. But yeah, it does bring some points out for discussion. So I'll give you my point of view. If you guys want to participate and let me know what you guys think, we can also discuss on that, right? Anyways, this was once again reiterated by Kenneth Blanco, Director of Financial Crimes Enforcement Network of FinCEN, saying cryptocurrency companies would be held by anti-money laundering law and be forced to share information about their clients. Now, the reaffirmation by Blanco came as no surprise. However, it was interesting to note that the seriousness and direct nature of his tone towards businesses such as digital asset exchanges and wallet service providers as regulators try to stamp out illicit use cases in crypto. Now, this is a quote from him. "That's what our expectation is. You will comply. I don't know what this shock is. This is nothing new," he said after making mention of the travel rule, which is also intended to help fight money laundering. Now, cryptocurrency has been fighting a battle on two fronts, let's say. First, it's trying to gain mainstream adoption and be recognized for its innovation in the financial sector. However, it's also trying to distance itself from criminal activities, right? Anyways, the anonymous, borderless, and weakly regulated financial tool that is cryptocurrency can still be heavily utilized for illicit activities. It has been reported by Cypher Thrace that cryptocurrency thefts, scams, and frauds may exceed more than $4.3 billion this year. Part of this has to do with criminals using cryptocurrencies to launder money. Now, the travel rule applies to convertible virtual currencies, and we expect that you will comply, period, Blanco said in a conference hosted by Chainalysis. Now, the travel law means that exchanges will be forced to collect and share personal data on transactions performed with cryptocurrency, which is a ploy to try and lessen its effect as an anonymous tool. Now, a couple of things with this, right? Trying to force companies to comply. I mean, which ones? The ones that fall under FATF, the Financial Action Task Force. What about the other countries? What about the other exchanges in all these other countries that don't comply? You know, they can still operate. You can still have all these other anonymity still go on. So I mean, trying to force rules and say you will comply, period, you have to do it, period. I don't think it's the way to go with this, right? It should be a different approach. It should be more a friendly approach, an inviting approach to get everyone to comply with the rule instead of saying like, this is law, you have to comply. Dude, really? Crypto was made to go around all this stuff that you're trying to get to comply with. Yeah, there needs to be some regulation. Yes, there are some illicit activities that do happen in crypto, and they need to be. We need to find a way to regulate that and diminish the use of crypto for illicit activities. But again, crypto didn't ask anyone to come into existence. It's not a country. It didn't ask permission. It just came to be. And a lot of projects are also just popping out, and they're looking to have privacy as the main key, trying to go against everything that they're trying to do with this law, right? Anyways, the travel rule, if I'm not mistaken, is requiring exchanges to report on any transactions over $1,000, and they have to send the information of who's sending the money, who's receiving it, to the receiving exchange, and that receiving exchange has also have to match that data with who's receiving it and who's sending it, where it's being sent from. And that data has to be available upon request by the FATF. Now, again, they're trying to crack down on something that happened because they're trying to get away from this whole system, right? No government regulation, no government rules. So again, I'm not saying that that's the way it should go. You know, I'm saying that it's not being done in the best way possible. Again, it would have been more inviting if they are trying to come up with different reasons why this should apply, instead of trying to make it a force that you have to do it, otherwise you're not regulated and we'll sue you or whatever, man. These companies that are in the US can easily disappear tomorrow and go operate somewhere else, and US citizens will find a way to get onto crypto. Wallets are anonymous, right? A lot of wallets are anonymous. So again, there is many ways that you can still go about doing things with crypto that don't fall within the FinCEN or SEC regulation or anyone's regulation for that matter, right? And it could still be a very private area for the people that are willing or wishing to do that with crypto, private transactions. So again, the way they're trying to regulate it, I don't believe is the best way they should go about it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but again, I do believe that there's better ways to go about regulation and imposing rules than trying to force them and say you will comply, period. You know, that's it. You have to comply. It's nothing new. We're not talking about it. Yeah, for a lot of people in the crypto space, it is new. They're not used to that rule playing out for them, right? Maybe because a lot of people in the crypto sphere also were not using other financial tools. Some people is some of the first financial tools they're using, right? primarily the guys that are young and that are starting to work, and they're putting the money into crypto. Not necessarily the banking instruments that you have right now, like CDs, T-bills, or T-bonds, or whatever you guys have in the States for that. But, you know, just regular bonds in general. So again, people are trying to find a way to get around this. So let's see where that goes, right? So let's go on to Bitcoin news right now. I didn't have quite a Bitcoin article per se regarding the coin. All I found was this. It's too short. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs, and it's about the companies, right? But anyways, it's about a merger between Nothern Bitcoin, and it's merging with its leading U.S. competitor. Now, Nothern Bitcoin AG has entered into a merger agreement with its U.S. competitor, Winston US. The company already successfully operates its own Bitcoin site in Louisiana and is currently building by far the largest Bitcoin mining facility worldwide with a capacity of 1 gigawatt on an area of over 100 acres in Texas. We talked about them before, right? Before you jump and start saying that, oh man, they're gonna, like, how much electricity you're gonna consume, whatever. They are being self-sufficient. They are installing solar panels and an aeolic farm as well, so they can produce wind energy and solar energy to power up this facility. Anyways, the Winston Group and its management team have a successful track record in the blockchain industry since 2014 and have established and operated their own mining facilities in the Netherlands, Sweden, and the US. A few weeks ago, the company started building its latest site in Texas on an area of 100 acres, equivalent to around 57 soccer fields. The largest data center in North America and the largest Bitcoin mining facility in the world are built in 3 phases. This is going to be built in 3 phases with local construction planners. Now, with the completion of the first construction phase planned for the first quarter of 2020, the company will already have over 300 megawatts of capacity and will rank number 1 worldwide. Now, the total capacity of 1 gigawatt is expected to be available by the fourth quarter of 2020. Arush Talain, I'm gonna butcher this name, man. I'm sorry. Arush Talainton, a co-founder and managing director of Winston US, stated with stock-listed Nothern Bitcoin AG, we have found the ideal partner to position our successful business development on the capital market from now on. The joint company has the immediate potential to shape the future course of the global mining industry. Now, Matthias Schultz, the CEO of Nothern Bitcoin AG, stated, with this merger, we are catapulting ourselves faster than originally planned to the top of the world in Bitcoin mining. Winston's team has done a great job over the past few years and is providing its leadership in the blockchain industry by building the world's largest the leadership in the blockchain industry by building the world's largest mining facility together. We have a dominant leadership position in this fast-growing industry, and we're well positioned to benefit significantly from the further development of blockchain technology. Now, by completing the transaction at the beginning of 2020, the joint venture will establish itself as a global leader in Bitcoin mining, and that is really cool, guys. Now, you got to think about this. We have talked about all these articles that are stating that China has most of the miners right now. Like the biggest players are in China, right? Or Chinese companies, etc. But with this, the US will take an important position in the mining world, right? Already a Chinese company is already establishing a mining facility in Texas as well. I can't remember where exactly in Texas. We covered an article a while back. But again, those Bitcoin will be mined with US energy, probably US labor, in a US facility by a Chinese company, and that Bitcoin will be sent back to China whenever they wish, and they will probably just keep whatever they need to keep the operation going. So again, just mining in the US does not make any US coin, especially when Bitcoin transactions cannot be stopped, right? Anyone can put them through, and it's once they are sent, they just need to be validated, and that's it. They go through. So again, very important to keep that in note, right? That this is a U.S. company that's going to have its Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin will remain in the U.S. Again, producing and keeping Bitcoin in the States is probably better than producing Bitcoin in the States and sending it back to China, right? 4 people tuned in. If you guys like what we do, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when we go live. Let's go to Ripple. Ripple xSpring is just getting started. Develops new XRP mainstream adoption strategy. Right now, this article is from FX Street. Now it says that the push for increased integration of cryptocurrencies into the mainstream payment system has been on all the crypto providers' priorities list. For instance, xSprings, they call it the fundraising branch of Ripple. I'm not sure it's a fundraising branch. I think it's more the investment arm of Ripple. So I'm not sure why they're calling it the fundraising branch. Anyways, it's developing a new strategies to ensure that XRP mainstream adoption is not just a dream, but a reality. xSpring executive Ethan Beard recently revealed that the two strategies in an interview with Abra. The first is tailored on the bringing the financial institutions, while the second one targets XRP used by a firm or individual. So Beard explains, I think one of the ways to think about what we're building is we have almost a top-down strategy that's working directly with financial institutions, providing them enterprise software that's already customized for their world and lets them tap into the power of XRP. Now then we have kind of the bottom-up strategy. Sorry guys, ads coming up here. Anyways, kind of a bottom-up strategy where we're looking just at starting with XRP and other cryptocurrency, and then focusing on developers and letting them integrate XRP and integrate cryptocurrency into their applications. It seems to me that at some point they meet. How and where will they meet? It's kind of unclear. Now, something that's interesting, right? That xSpring has been acquiring a couple of companies, investing in a couple of the companies. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. My kid screamed. I had to go check on him. My wife is still traveling today. She gets into town tomorrow, so of course, if your kid screams, you have to go check and make sure everything's fine. Anyways, like I was saying, yeah, they have been investing in a lot of companies, acquiring or investing, heavily into a lot of projects that are to further develop the XRP ledger ecosystem, etc. So again, Ripple's investments should be paying off quite soon, I guess, right? With some of the companies. Anyways, another article, like this is from the XRP Daily, right? This is Alex Cobb website for Ripple. It says CIS India confirms more than 100 banks have signed up with the Ripple's xCurrent, which is XRP enabled. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. It says has seen some very interesting information from the Center of Internet and Society, which is located in India, and apparently XRP Owl was kind enough to share information with the community. This is the tweet from XRP Owl, right? Blockchain, a primer for India, the Center for Internet and Society. More than 100 banks have signed up with xCurrent. Hashtag XRP, hashtag XRP community. Right, full docs, he has them there. Blockchain, a primer for India, and then over here is how many banks have signed up. Something chain, probably blockchain-based messages to develop. xCurrent allows banks to coordinate, blah blah blah, in seconds. Right now, we can see that part here, just in this part of the article. Now, this article from Cobb says xCurrent has direct XRP integration and is directly integrated with on-demand liquidity. You know, it used to be xRapid. So by using xCurrent, XRP usage is technically very easy to switch over to. It's mind-boggling to think that over 100 banks could be on-demand liquidity enabled in the future through xCurrent. Now, guys, very, very something you have to take into consideration. Just because they're using xCurrent does not mean that they're going to use on-demand liquidity. It is there if they want to switch to it, right? And that's what Alex is saying, right? They could be on-demand liquidity enabled in the future, right? It's not going to happen right now. Right now, India is against crypto, but maybe they're being pro blockchain, or at least pro this solution that Ripple's issuing. And again, India being part of the BRIC nations, Russia and China had their systems where they could kind of get them to talk to each other for international remittances, like SWIFT, right? But they were trying to figure out a way that China could also be coming on board. Again, if China does go on board with this, it could certainly also prompt India and Russia to start using Ripple's xCurrent or on-demand liquidity, right? Like I said, the article, when we covered it, it didn't say which crypto. It was just saying, it was talking about obligations from the seller and and the buyer. So again, a smart contract could be done by many cryptos, but yes, it could be settled on XRP. Now, let's say, he says, I like to think of xCurrent as a Trojan horse in a good way. Ripple pitched the idea of xCurrent as a non-crypto route. However, once they had hundreds of customers live on xCurrent, they got them to dip their toes in the water with blockchain. They quietly integrated XRP into software. Absolutely brilliant. Everything Ripple does is very well thought out and strategically executed. We're not far from banks actually using XRP. Now, the point here that I have, and we kind of mentioned it a couple days ago, right, also, and we've mentioned it since, Ripple is getting everyone on their system, right, using xCurrent, whatever you're comfortable with using, right, that's a blockchain solution that will send the money. You're not using crypto, you're just staying with fiat, whatever, it's good. You're getting used to like fast transactions, lower rates, etc. And yeah, having them be able to switch to to ODL because it's already integrated, yes, it's going to make it better. Interbank Peru already said that they're going to start using ODL. All this is going to take, it's a couple banks to start using on-demand liquidity, come up with their numbers, like quarterly, yearly, half year, results. Any numbers that are positive from them using XRP or on-demand liquidity as the transaction, as the liquidity tool for the transactions, it's really gonna have an important impact on this, because everyone else is gonna start to fall in, right? Right now, Monogram's doing it. Now, Interbank Peru is probably gonna try to do it. If Interbank Peru does it, Santander, who's trying to get more corridors open, or at least 4 more corridors open, we'll probably also jump on that wagon, and then everyone else is just going to start jumping in left and right, right? And something that I was talking about, right? Ripple, I don't think that's how they're going to play it out, right? But a way of thinking was, Ripple has this tool, and everyone's running on it, and everyone's going to get used to run on it with these fast times, low rates, etc. And at some point in time, Ripple can just say, look, man, we're going to drop xCurrent. It's just not viable for us to keep on running with it. We just want to focus on on-demand liquidity. And then everyone that's already integrated with Ripple and trying to use Ripple would have to switch to on-demand liquidity, or else go back to the old slow way of SWIFT with the high rates, etc. So again, I'm not sure. I don't believe Ripple's going to do that. They're not shady, right? But again, if Ripple wanted to, or if another guy comes in and replaces Brad Garlinghouse and he wanted to make that move, I mean, I'm just saying it's a move that could be potentially made, right? You have everyone running on that system, everyone's used to it, then you just like force them to switch, right? I'm not saying that should be done, or it's just a different way of viewing things, right? I do believe that they will come out of their own free will and switch, and it's good that they're doing it with xCurrent though, because again, the banks feel more comfortable and they're doing it on their own time and on their own terms. They're coming to terms with crypto, blockchain, and the benefits it can provide, right? They cannot jump on that board right now because there's a lot of regulation that's still lacking, etc. So again, it's still pretty good though that they're thinking about, at least Interbank Peru is thinking about using ODL. Let's go into Binance. I don't have news for Litecoin, sorry guys if you were expecting Litecoin news. Anyways, Binance is looking to hire a locally based social media specialist manager in Kampala, Uganda. Now, the social media manager position will be full-time on-site, where the candidate will work independently in the local jurisdiction with directions from Global Binance Marketing Operations team. Now, this, those say which responsibilities they're going to have. They don't say for how long this position is being held for or what the end game is. But this other position was also posted that says, this is from November 15, it says Binance is hiring a locally based compliance officer MLRO in Africa. Now, MLRO is Money Laundering Reporting Officer. So, hey, Will and James, how's it going, man? Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, sure, you can catch up after the game. That's fine. Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate it. Now, like I was saying, this is another position they're hiring for Africa, right? Binance. So again, they might be thinking about launching a Binance Africa exchange or Binance Africa office, or maybe looking for those other on-ramps, fiat on-ramps for African countries, right? We know that they wanted to do it. So again, there's nothing stopping them from actually going out and doing it, right? So let's see how this keeps on playing out. Let's figure out what they want to do really in Africa before we actually jump into any conclusions, right? So that's the only articles that I have. So yeah, we'll move on to analysis, right? Six people tuned in. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. Let's go and look at total market. 1 second, guys. Kid's knocking at the door. I gotta make sure he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. He just wanted to like say goodnight or something. So like he doesn't get the concept of working. I already said goodnight to him earlier. So, anyways, crypto market cap. Let's look at what the market is doing right now. Market yesterday had a money flowing out of the cryptosphere, 3.96% down from an opening of 225.21 billion, closing at 216.30 billion, a 8.91% billion loss, right? All that money flowing out of the cryptosphere right now. Money still flowing out of the cryptosphere. 0.22%. Closing or sitting at right now 215.82 billion. So 479 is switched. 479, 480 now. $0.43 million that are flowing out of the cryptosphere. Now, yeah, say I don't like it when money flows out of the cryptosphere. Probably people taking the money and putting it into the stock market. It has been hitting all-time high, so again, it would probably make sense. And that's probably why money has been flowing out of the cryptosphere. Anyways, let's go look at Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin yesterday gaining dominance very little, 0.10%. Right now gaining dominance as well, 0.12%. Yesterday, opening of 68.21, closing at 68.27. Right now, sitting at 68.35% of market cap. Is it good? Is it bad? We already talked about this in other streams. It's good if you're pro Bitcoin. It's bad if you're pro crypto, right? You want this dominance to still drop farther down, so the pie is more equally divided and everyone is less susceptible to the shifts that Bitcoin brings into the market. Now let's look at Bitcoin. Before we look at Bitcoin, I do have a small segment that I want to play out from yesterday's stream. So let me pause this and I'll mute my mic so I don't have any feedback. But don't say we didn't call prices going down, because we did. And here's the evidence. Keep an eye out for this. If you go down, again, potentials to the downside. We already talked about them. Potentials to the downside put you touching both the midline of the downsloping channel and the top part of the other larger downsloping channel. You can use both as supports right now. If you break that, then you would probably have the mid part of this smaller downsloping channel incoming as support, and then if you break that, you would have 7,531. Depending on when you break it is when you will hit this target. So you could go from, let's say, 7,933 all the way to 7,839, right? Just keep an eye out for that, as it could potentially keep on dropping. Right, it could potentially keep on dropping. We were talking about that yesterday. So market did end up dropping a little bit more today. So we're not 100% surprised when it happened, right? We were kind of expecting it. That's why I told you guys, I'm not holding any Bitcoin right now, because Bitcoin is sitting below the 200 MA, and we talked about what happens when Bitcoin is below the 200 MA. You're in bearish territory. So again, right now, I'm not putting my eggs on the Bitcoin basket. And I told you guys yesterday as well, I'm not holding any other crypto than XRP right now, and I'm holding XRP for long-term value because I got it at a really good price, and I'm able to, I'm gonna be able to still make a little bit of profit right now. So I'm not, it's not a crypto that I'm really looking forward to get out of. I do believe in them long-term use case, and they're one of the few cryptos that is actually working with banks, and we talked about that yesterday. They're working with the people that have the money. Anyways, let's go look at Bitcoin. I'll rant about XRP whenever we get to the XRP part of the stream. So what is happening here on the daily, right? Low, lower, low, lower, low. Okay, so let's see. Low, more negative momentum, right? 92, 103, 107. So more negative momentum building, right? We were talking about something from here to here, right? Being hidden bullish divergence. It's still developing, right? We said it could still go down farther. What happened here? Switch the charts anyways. Yeah. So you're still coming to here. This could still easily go there and still make sense, right? You're still going farther down, again diverging on that bottom part, creating that hidden bullish divergence. Again, price continuation. Is it going to continue on the downtrend that you're in or the uptrend? Now, we talked about this. We were here during the stream, right? Sorry, we were here during the stream. This is the, it'll be during the 4 hour. It's not during this chart that I want to show you what I was talking about, using this as support, because we did use it as support for a couple candles, and then we broke below it just as we were talking about on the video. Now, sitting at 36.91 on the RSI, being on that sold territory again. We're still sitting there from yesterday and today. Again, usually when you're down here or even out of oversold, you tend to want to come back to neutral zone. Two ways you do it is you either move sideways or you pump to the upside, right? And that's the quickest way to get there. Anyways, if you look at this, I wouldn't consider this an impulse down. It was more like a scale down, but you upsloping consolidation if you want to consider this in the shorter scales. 1-2 days, right? Upsloping. That's usually bearish. You usually break to the downside. So again, just keep that in mind as you set up your trades when you're doing your Bitcoin, right? That upsloping consolidation is usually bearish. We mention that all the time. Anyways, so we just impulse down. We're still making more negative momentum. Let's wait for this to develop. We're probably going to start consolidating after the small impulse down. We're still within that downsloping channel. Nothing to worry about. Volatility on the Bollinger Bands opened a little bit, right? We pushed them down a little bit, and we actually fell below that top part of the downsloping channel. But we're still within the range, right? The 8,983 and the 7,531. So again, not much going on there. Let's go look at the 4 hour, man. On the 4 hour, we had divergence, right? Bearish, we called it. Again, stuff from the 1 hour coming back to haunt me. But here we had hidden bearish. We talked about it potentially bringing us to the downside, right? That's the one we called yesterday when we were doing the live stream, right? So again, when we were doing the live stream, we were somewhere around here, right? We said we still could potentially break the downside. And look, man, we came down, used this as support, just as we call, right? It gave us a fight probably here during the 1 hour. We could probably see a fight going on before we actually break. And then right now we seem to be flagging to the downside now. Stuff that you could potentially do, but I wouldn't recommend. Again, sorry, there's stuff here that's coming from the 1 hour out. It's just insane that these charts, lines don't stay where they're supposed to, right? Anyways, look, man, from here to here, right, you're going definitely lower. But the point is that you're going to be ignoring a lot of data, man. That's why I don't like doing this. But from here to here, you're technically going lower. They're ignoring these two small negative momentum islands that are there. They're very real. So again, I wouldn't consider that you should. I wouldn't say that you should ignore them. But if you wanted to look for a bullish sign, that would be your bullish sign, right? You would be creating bullish divergence. Again, you're ignoring two islands of negative momentum that I would not recommend you do. Here's one. Here's actually two, and 3 islands of negative momentum. So again, be careful. Don't consider this bullish divergence. I wouldn't call it that. So again, I just wanted to point out that if you wanted to look for a bullish sign, that would be it. But I wouldn't consider it a valid one. So you're actually going much lower than your previous negative momentum, right? Again, if this would have come around here, maybe, right, where we were at, right here, we're talking about probably creating divergence there. And we could have maybe, no, we would have definitely had hidden bullish divergence at some point in time here, right? Even from here to here, we had bullish divergence, right? But this kept on building, like we said, and you kept on making more negative momentum. So again, that divergence got negated because now it's also down sloping. So again, you don't have any kind of convergence on the bottom part, so you don't have bullish divergence developed. So right now we're impulse down. We got to consolidate a little bit, and then we'll be able to call something out. But the 1 hour might give us a better idea of what type of consolidation we're making. From this, it would appear that we're down sloping consolidation. That's usually bullish, down sloping flag again. So bullish bear pull, bull flag. Let's wait and see how this keeps on developing before we call it. It's just two 4 hour candles that have developed. So look at the 1 hour, man. On the 1 hour, right, we had that divergence we called out, price action to downside. It's playing out, right? We had it on the RSI, not on the MACD. Here we had hidden bearish price continuation. We said it potentially could go down as well. The trend was down sloping, so again, you see we're seeing that price action to the downside. Let's see, low, what was this? 1044, 1025. This is the same height. So again, you were developing, right, bullish divergence. It didn't play out though, right? Your bearish divergence was so much stronger, right? Because we're in a bear trend, right, down sloping trend, and the market is also bearish in sentiment because we're below the 200 MA. So again, see this, how this is going down, even though you're going down in price. Even this one would be down here, man. And look, you are down sloping every time, lower low, less negative momentum, and just exploded to the downside. So again, nothing you could do at this point in time. So again, guys, we're here on the stream. We're calling out prices to the downside. So again, you were warned that this was potentially still going to go down. So we're just seeing it play out, right? Anyway, sitting at 24.19 on the RSI. That's fine. Like I said, right now this looks a bit down slopey-ish, right? If you want to look at this like that and like that. So again, right now I wouldn't call this a fallen wedge. It's too short of a pattern to develop after the impulse down, small impulse down. But again, I would wait for something to develop a little bit more before we actually like call it, do a channel, triangle, whatever, right? So let's wait for something here to develop here before we actually do something else. Right now, looking like a fallen wedge. I'm not gonna call it a fallen wedge yet, but that's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like, right? You tend to break this to the upside again. On the shorter term, on the 1 hour, right? On the immediate island from this here, like slant divergence, see low, lower low, lower low, lower levels of negative momentum, right? And also on the RSI, right? So you're have it on both oscillators, right? That you are converging on that bottom part on the 1 hour. Again, you can still develop this new island of negative momentum. I'm not saying it's done with development. This 1 hour candle is still going on strongly. It still has 10 minutes to go. So again, we have to wait for this to close. See where we're at. If we create a new red candle, it would be even better to anchor to a lower low with less levels of negative momentum. And we could potentially then really call it bullish divergence. Right now, it just looks like slanted bullish divergence. I wouldn't anchor it to a actual point right now because we don't have that red. But again, this would mean exhaustion going on, right? It's taking you're going lower, but with less negative momentum. So you're gonna get exhausted of this, and you're gonna have to like reverse price to the upside potentially. So again, just keep an eye out for this as it keeps on developing. Like I said, dude, see it's still going on. So again, right now just shifted. This shifted a little bit up to here. And you can still go down a little bit more and create this new red momentum candle or bar, and then you would have that divergence. So again, let's wait and see how this keeps on developing. We'll probably come back and round up to Bitcoin before the stream ends, and we'll see how things are right back then. Anyways, let's get on to Ethereum. Ethereum is probably doing something very, very similar to Bitcoin because you know, Bitcoin is telling the market what to do right now. Ethereum dominance on the daily. Yesterday gaining dominance 0.76% right now, losing dominance 0.14%, sitting at 8.92% of market cap. I don't think I said the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin sitting at 8,138. Anyways, Ethereum sitting at $176.56. Had divergence, right? Right here, bullish, bearish, sorry. Price action to the downside. We're still playing of that. We have not created any bullish divergence yet for this to pump. So we're looking for this yesterday, trying to get this, see this low. If we get to this low from where we're at right now, we're going to create a much larger negative momentum bar. And again, it's not gonna be the best because it's just gonna negate whatever divergence we could have. For now, this will be going up, this will be going up, and this will be going up. We're just going with the market on Ethereum. Right? That's it. Facing 20 MA, rejecting it to lower prices. We talked about the movements, right? Probably hitting that bottom part of the Bollinger Bands. Pretty sure I'm not sure if we called that one out on Ethereum or not, but we called it out for another one that we're probably going to hit the bottom part of the Bollinger Bands. Trying to use my support, and if we break it, then you know, all the way back here, bottom, that midline of the down sloping channel, right? Sorry, before I move on to anything else here on Ethereum, forgot to look at this. Here, we're still within a falling wedge of sorts, right? Looking more like a channel now. We had it here yesterday. This moved down, kind of broke us down. This day is still developing, so we could reverse back into it. This is Bitcoin again. Sorry, guys. Forgot to tell you about this part. So we could still go back, break back in, and this could be a fake breakout. If it's not, then we'll probably have to change this to a channel, and it will no longer be a wedge, because if this was to be a wedge, we should expect a measure move from the high to the low. That's what we should hit to the upside. Again, usually downsloping wedge or falling wedges break to the upside. They're bullish in nature. I don't consider this to be a valid break because we did not hit it with volume and with strength, right? It was just a very weak move to the downside. Breaking it, we should have like really made that move and at least gotten to like maybe 7,790s, right? Somewhere around that area. Anyways, back to Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum on the 4 hours. See, we had divergence. We called it out yesterday. I think we're somewhere around here during the stream. This candle, we said, look, price action to the downside, right? We have not created any kind of bullish divergence that would indicate price action to the upside. Look, we just kind of kept on tanking along with Bitcoin, but Ethereum holding worst off yet. Let's see on the daily, what are we doing? Just the candle. So here we have 2 candles down sloping still, more negative momentum building. Is it lower than here? No, it is not. So again, right now, the only good thing on Ethereum is that from here to here, you're going lower. And this would be 0.61, 0.54. You would be going in here on your histogram, right? So you'll be converging on that bottom part, creating bullish divergence, potential price action to the upside. However, this is not finished. This candle is still building. It can negate this. Next candle can still open to the downside and really move you down here, and then you would negate it, right? But right now you kind of have it. Keep an eye out as it can keep on developing, right? That's what I tell you guys. This stream, I'm not gonna tell you what the market's gonna do. I'm gonna give you like different options of what the market could do, and then you can track them during your time and then see which one's gonna play out, and then make your call, right? But I try to give you the tools so you can identify what's going on, and yeah, you don't have to like really depend on me like showing you what the market is doing. At some point in time, you'll start seeing all this by yourself, and you'll probably come into the stream and tell me like, dude, you missed that, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, awesome, man, thanks for telling me, right? And then we'll all adjust and we'll all have fun doing analysis together, looking for different areas of opportunity. But again, right now, you're creating that kind of divergence right now. So again, just keep in mind that this is still developing. It could get negated at this hour close or the next hour candle. If it doesn't get negated, if you don't build more by the next hour candle, right, then you start maybe creating like stagnation or less negative momentum. Then we could probably talk about a reversal. But right now, this would usually indicate reversal, but it has not finished building. So keep an eye out for it, right? Sitting low on the RSI at 30.94. Again, sold almost to that oversold area. So again, when you're down here, you tend to want to go back up usually. So just keep an eye out. You can still go oversold. Don't get me wrong. You can still go down here. Like this was like 14 on the RSI scale, right? So again, you can still go down. Let's wait and see how this keeps on developing, because I do believe that this could potentially. You had divergence from here to here, right? We had that price action to the upside. We created that hidden bullish divergence that we called out on 2 of the oscillators. Price action to the downside right now. We're creating that bullish divergence again. However, this is on the verge of non-existence. From here, you don't have it on the RSI, just on the MACD histogram. You could also do one of those things where you kind of go up a little bit, reset this oscillator a little bit, then you go a little bit lower, but make less negative momentum, create divergence again, and create that divergence also on the RSI. That could be another potential play for this. That could potentially see you price action to the upside, right? So let's go to the 1 hour. Ethereum on the 1 hour, right? So we had divergence, bearish. I believe here we had, if I'm not mistaken, if it wasn't like strong, we're probably developing like weak bearish divergence. I can't remember if these were the same height. 33. 34. No, so we had like strong, right? By one number, we were like diverging a little bit stronger than we should have. Anyways, price action to the downside, we're seeing that play out still. No signs of stopping the carnage. Now, the only thing that we have going on is that from, let's say, here to here, you're going lower, right? And from here to here, you're slightly going less negative momentum, but you don't not doing that on the RSI right there, so you're still going lower. But here you have divergence, bullish, price action to the upside. You saw that small pump. This is probably a green candle. Yeah, this red candle is actually green. It's a plus 0.8, and then you open to the downside, right? You kind of gap down. Again, this chart might show it a little bit better. The movement here is different. It's a minus 10. But again, you have that divergence going on, right? So from here to here, right? From here to here. And even right now, sorry, let me put that one to there. And even right now, on the more micro scale, you are still going slightly lower. And look at this, you're still going lower. So again, you are creating a divergence bullish. And here on this chart, you seem to be going up also here and here as well. So again, you are developing that divergence, double bullish divergence on this chart, slanted within the same island. But again, you could see price action to the upside potentially, depending how this candle closes. In this chart, we don't have that, right? From here to here, we're actually going lower. From here to here, we're actually going higher. So again, the divergence I just traced there, the second divergence, right? Then still developing because it's not done yet. Could potentially see you play to the upside, and here you would also have an RSI. So again, different charts, different points, right? That's what I tell you guys. So that's why you should look at different charts when you do your analysis. Anyways, yeah, let's keep on going to the. We just did Ethereum, so let's go into Ripple. Ripple dominance. What is happening with the Ripple? Well, yesterday we had a price action to the downside, 0.46%. Right now, trying to recover a little bit. Oh, actually, no, we're actually losing. It just looked green, but up here it says negative. 0.18% losing market cap still. Sitting at 5.03% of market cap. Yesterday we kind of dropped below that 5. But like I told you guys, above 5 is good. We should try to keep Ripple above 5% market dominance. It's best for Ripple and for everyone, right? It's good. Anyways, let's go on to price of Ripple, sitting at 24 cents. 24,986 on this chart, and on other charts 25.108, right? So again, downsloping channel, we're kind of breaking out of that. We could always adjust this channel. I don't believe I will adjust it right now, but again, we have this channel. On this other channel that I had traced, that it was a little bit wider, we seem to still be within it. So again, I'll probably extend this one. This one's considering more data points, right? Including this spike down here that I was not considering on this chart on purpose. I want to hold it a little bit tighter because the market is bearish. So again, those moves, I really want to be able to see how we're going to move with the market. So again, we're seeing that price action downside right now. It would seem that we're struggling to get back into this channel. And this other channel, which is the sitting at the mid part of the channel, right? But again, we're both facing resistance, right? It's both being valid channels. Again, there we go. There we go. Recording a little bit better. So anyways, a couple touch points on the bottom one, on the top at least, creating a valid channel for Ripple. Now Ripple did wick to 24 cents on this chart, actually 23.9 on this chart. This chart only hit 24.2. But again, we don't want to be this low on Ripple, and we talked about it. I told you guys we want to get above that 26,692 because being in this range, we'll see that drop. We talked about being a potential area where we could probably rest up around. That is down here, right? But again, they're not very valid supports here because we just manufactured them recently. So again, not a lot of stuff here that's kind of keep us in. That's why I've been telling you that this range is important, and we want to get above that again. So again, Ripple not looking the best right now. Pump to the downside. Again, the only thing I like here is that from here to here on Ripple, on the daily, right, a larger time scale, you're creating divergence. Here we had it. We already placed it. This is probably from the 4 hours, but again, I'll just chart it there again because stuff from the 4 hours keeps coming back to the daily. even though I change them every day, man, and they just don't stay where they're supposed to. Anyways, we had the divergence going on, not so much on the RSI, but again, right now we're making these divergence. You can still go here and even here if you want to. Have that bullish divergence, price action to the upside potentially. Let's see how this keeps on developing, right? Again, this would be. 1 second, music. Get up. Reset the playlist. There we go. So again, what is this? 00407 0391. We're very close to almost neutralizing this divergence. That could potentially see us with price action to the upside. But again, this is tanking because Bitcoin is tanking. So again, Bitcoin is moving the market. It's not that XRP wants to go down. It's just that Bitcoin being so large, such a huge part of the market, is moving the market with it. So again, we're having this price action to the downside. Let's go into a shorter scale. Let's go into the 4 hours and see what's going on with Ripple. Look at this chart as well. Right, look, see, we're sitting at the mid part of the channel again. Let's see, did we do something here? No, slightly lower, right? So again, okay, so we did develop something. I just want to see if we have in this chart as well. So here we had called it, right? We said hidden bearish divergence, price action to the downside. It was a potential because we're in a down sloping channel. And look, man, we got it right. We were still pumping. This was the night. We're in the 1 hour. We're still developing some kind of hidden bullish, but apparently we probably negated it. So again, here we did have that as well. So broke down for the same reason again. Sitting oversold on the RSI on the 4 hours at 22.36. On the daily, I'm not sure where we're at. We're sold at 32.69, but in the 4 hours, we are sitting oversold at 22.36 again. Looking for any signs of divergence that would have us pump, and in the 4 hour, we don't have it. Again, people would probably want to look for a bullish sign on the 4 hours. We have it on the daily, so I'm comfortable with that right now. But if someone wanted to go from here to here, you'll be ignoring data points. You'll be ignoring here and here data points that would not consider it, and you would be able to trade divergence, right? But again, it's not healthy to ignore data points, so I'm not going to do that. Symbol at 20 MA with volatility open on the Bollinger Bands. We had contraction on the Bollinger Bands. I'm pretty sure we were calling it out yesterday. And we said that when that contraction happens, we usually get explosive moves. And man, look at that. Move to the downside, right? With this move, just like dumping hardcore. Anyways, nothing else I can trace here right now. From here to here, we're going lower. Also lower. So also lower on the other side. So we're just going with the market on the top part. Also, we had that divergence that we called out from this other chart, right, that we already called out. So again, nothing there. This is from the daily again, coming back into the to the 1 hour. So let's go into the 1 hour. So let's go. We had divergence here. We kept on developing. I said keep an eye out. This could still go on developing, and look, man, it kept on developing all the way to here. So again, from here to here, you're just going down with the market. So again, it kind of got negated hardcore. So that's why I tell you guys that we're in the stream. Stuff can still happen when I'm off, and you have to keep on tracking it. And this was 9 p.m. You can see here the timestamp is 9 p.m. where this line is. So that's when we're actually live with you guys. Again, kept on developing, neutralize that. Anyways, from here to here, let's see. Oh, what is this? 57, 58, 62, slightly lower still. So unfortunately, we don't have divergence from this point to this low, right? From here to here. Even from this island to here, we don't have divergence. But we do have divergence from here to here right now. And from here to here right now, right? It's line divergence developing. And you also have it on your RSI. So again, on the 1 hour, there's a potential that you do a U-turn and probably start moving to the upside. A new candle just opened. That's it for Ripple, or XRP, sorry. Let's go into Bitcoin real quick to see how it closed. So again, see, we closed here. We're still here. We're talking about that divergence developing, so I'm just adjusting the points. Potential price action to the upside. We're starting to get a green candle. I'm not sure if this is going to hold out though, but again, we're probably going to impulse up, right? We were talking about that in a couple of minutes ago. Here on Ethereum, I don't have it on this chart, but look at this chart. We also traced it, and look, we're also opening to the upside. Ripple, also opening to the upside. We just called it out on the other chart. This chart, the other chart's not showing it as well as this, but anyways, from here to here, we're creating that divergence. Here, at least we have a red line to anchor to. But here we don't have it, right? Oh, we just started to show as well. So yeah, nice. Probably pump to the upside. It's not probably not gonna be very strong. Stuff that could happen if you start pumping with Ripple. Hit that bottom part of the upsloping channel. In the case of this one, you hit the mid part of that downsloping channel, right? But again, going back to this one, you probably hit that at 20 MA after that, then the mid part, then the top of the Bollinger Band, and then if you break that, the top part of the downsloping channel. But again, even if you do that, you're still within this range of the 26 to the 24 cent. I told you guys, you don't want to be in this area. It would mean still drop, at least come and touch this resistance at some point in time. Maybe bounce off it before we actually pump. And we don't want to do that because, again, if we do that, we're in risk of even dropping farther to that dreaded 21 cent area. And if we drop to this area, guys, it's game over, man. This could certainly go all the way down to 14 cents, 13 cents. This has been an old area of support resistance that I traced. It's very valid. It is an area where I wish we don't have to go to because things can get really nasty if we go down there. So again, let's go back into this real quick. So again, Ripple moving down, not creating that divergence yet that we need. Just here we have it on the shorter term on two of the oscillators. On Ethereum, I didn't tell you what we would do. So again, if you break to the upside right from this divergence, pump to the upside, would see you touch that 20 MA. If you do, then you probably have these other lines that we have traced also down here. That would be your 382, right? That's both 382, but from different scales. At 181, and this one being at maybe, let's see, 179. So around that area, we're probably going to get a bounce, right? A rejection. And if we do break that, then we'll probably have that 236 that will be confluent with the 50% mark at 188.37. So again, if you were to move to the upside, that would be it. I don't believe we're going to get that bound. Okay, move to the upside right now. Again, I could be wrong, but again, the divergence that we have, it's not. It is strong divergence, but it's only a very short period of time. So again, just keep an eye out for it. Bitcoin, in the best case scenario, we pump, hit that mid part of the channel, 20 MA first actually, then the mid part of the channel, and the upper part of the previous larger downsloping channel that we apparently just broke back into. And if we break that, then the top of the Bollinger Bands, and if we break that, then the top part of the downsloping channel. But again, we're still in a downsloping channel, so yeah. Anyways, let's go on to Litecoin. Litecoin dominance on the daily. Litecoin sitting at the 20 MA, bouncing off it on the daily. Again, volatility open on the Bollinger Bands, but again, it's starting to tighten a little bit. This is dominance. I don't do analysis on dominance. I don't like it. It's very subjective. Again, there's many other factors that come into play, and I don't believe in doing analysis on dominance. Anyways, yesterday losing dominance 2.02%. Right now gaining dominance 0.54%, sitting at 1.65% off market cap. Price of Litecoin $55.83. Again, is it good? Is it bad? Litecoin, like I said, is one of the coins that really doesn't have. I don't have anything in for it. So again, we were within a falling wedge. Again, we kind of fell back into it. Let's move to the outside. It wasn't very strong. So again, we do have a lot of data that keeps coming back to haunt us. So again, I'm going to read this real quick. That falling wedge that we had was from here to here, right? Something like that, I think. And I think it was something like this. I think that's the way I had it here. Yeah. Anyways, on the daily, more negative momentum building, going farther down. Also, same thing happening with the RSI. So again, nothing here that we can call out. Still going up. Okay, if anything you would see from this to there, right, and from here to here, that would be hidden bullish divergence, fresh continuation. You don't have it on the RSI, just in the MACD histogram. And again, that continuation, we're kind of sideways moving. So again, not really 100% where that's going to take us. We can still go down a little bit, right? That's the more shorter trend that we're in. But anyways, from this point to this point, we seem to be in a slightly upsloping channel. So from the anchor point 1 to where we're at right now, sorry, it doesn't have the channel here. We will be doing something like this, right? So again, just for you guys to be able to see it. So it's very slightly upsloping. I just want to point it out. So again, I want to move into Litecoin, but in the 4 hours. So the 4 hours is a little bit better. A lot of stuff from the 1 hour, I just send it back, and it keeps on coming here to haunt me forever, man. So again, we had divergence, right? Hidden bearish, price action to the downside. We're still getting that played out nicely. Again, let's see, what's this at? 0, 22, 26, 21. So again, you're going lower right now, right? But you don't have that divergence here also, and you would only have it right now on the RSI. So from this point right here to this point right here, and from here to here, right? I'll anchor it to this one. This one is just developing. So again, just this point over here, and you would not have it on the even if I go here, that would be 250, 261, right? So again, you'll still be going lower on that negative momentum. So no divergence developing there on the 4 hours, just on the RSI. Not sure how strong it's going to be. So let's go into the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, low, lower low, more negative momentum. So again, nothing here. And from this low to this low, slower. So again, no divergence that we can really play off, right? Showing down with Bitcoin movements, but nothing else of its own, right? We had these divergence here, bearish, hidden bullish, price continuation. I believe the Bitcoin moving to the downside did not allow for this to play very well. Kind of moved sideways a little bit, almost touched that 20 man, then we just broke down. We're unable to get higher prices. That's it for this. Sitting oversold at 27.23 on the 1 hour. Sitting oversold on the 4 hour also at 29.20, and on the daily sitting neutral still at 41.50. So again, I want to wait for something to develop here so we're able to call something out, even though we've not made a lower low than the previous low like we had with Bitcoin and Ethereum and Ripple. So we don't have divergence here developing right now. Everything is just going with the market. So let's go into Binance. Binance on the daily, we had divergence, we called it out, price action to the downside, right, bearish, breaking down as expected on dominance, right, so dominance, losing dominance still, 1.65% right now, also losing dominance, 0.35%, bouncing over that 20 MA for dominance. So let's wait and see what else keeps on developing here. 1 second, the playlist got to the ad section, so there we go. So again, we're still playing the downside, sitting at 1.37% off market cap. Price of Binance, $18.90. What is happening? We had divergence, right? And we called it out. Price action to the downside is playing out. Here, this is probably from the 1 hour because I have stuff anchored here. 1 second, guys. Sorry guys, I'm back. Anyways, like I said, price action to the downside. Here we were trying to figure out something on the 1 hour, I think, or the 4 hour. We probably were trying to trade something. This kept on dumping again, so probably why it not played out. So let's just focus here on the daily. We called that divergence. We said price action to the downside. It's still playing out. So let's go into the 4 hours and see what we're doing, right? Sorry, in the daily, I didn't say we're sitting neutral on the RSI at 42.80. Again, below that 20 MA, volatility expanding a little bit on the Bollinger Bands. Moving to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, moving to the downside. Why? Let's see here. This chart now has everything we've traced so far. Again, you're probably seeing a lot of lines here. This was starting to develop yesterday, so when we were doing the stream. So this was around 10 p.m. We're quite done with this. So again, this didn't develop. We kept on going lower. right? Actually, it's still played out. We're lower here. We were lower here. We were expecting to see bullish divergence, right, from this point to this point. But again, it's not playing out here on the 4 hours. But guess what? It is playing out still, just differently. Thing is that there's some stuff here that's from. I'll go to this chart. We also have stuff charted here. So again, we're waiting for this divergence to develop to here. Again, it didn't. We kept on going lower, but guess what? We didn't go as low as our previous low. Again, this was slant divergence here within the island, right? Within this same island before it actually died out, or semi died out because it didn't quite go to positive. But again, you can still go from here to here and say that you're now creating bullish divergence again, right, on a more major scale on the 4 hours, and could potentially see price action to the upside. Here we had it also. We're developing it. We didn't develop it, so it kind of died out. We don't have it on the RSI. So again, this is still potential. This is still developing this new hour. So again, we still can make more negative momentum. But right now, this would be 1,448, and this would be 1,118. So again, we still have a little bit more movement here to the downside, right? More negative momentum to build before we actually negate this divergence. So again, this bullish divergence can potentially see price action to the upside. If you move to the upside, hit that 20 MA, then the bottom part of the upsloping channel, and then if you get in, then you have the top part of the boundary bands, then the top part of the mid part. Sorry, the mid part of the upsloping channel. So into the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, in the 1 hour we have more immediate divergence also, right? So I'll call from here to here, right? From that point to that point, right? Those anchors. So right now you're creating that divergence, right? And you also have it on the RSI. So again, potential price action to the upside. That's bullish divergence developing. Do we have anything going back? No. Low, lower, low. Yeah, we kind of had divergence here. Bullish. Again, not playing out very strong. From here to here. From here to here. So again, you kind of see that pump to the upside, and then that reverses still. Let's see this chart. In this chart, we also have this divergence, right? So from here to here, and from here to here, and from here to here, right? So again, potential price action to the upside. That's a shorter term. This is what really matters for us right now. What will this do in the next couple of movements, right? That's it, guys. There's nothing else developing here. Again, I'm alone with my kid. He wants me to put him to bed, read him a story. So I'm going to have to sign off for tonight. There's, I'm not sure who else is watching. We have 5 people tuned in. I know William Jens was watching. He's watching also the football game. Again, guys, if you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell if you want to support this channel. Retweet our tweets, bring awareness to the channel. That way more people can come and join us and also learn about crypto, learn about charting, analysis, etc. Again, I don't tell you where stuff is going to go. I tell you like what could potentially happen, and then you guys make your decision based on that. 1 second. Sorry. So anyways, if you guys like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when we go live. And yeah, that'll be all for tonight, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm probably not going to be interrupted. My wife should be home by midday or so. So again, she's going to take care of my son while I do the stream. That's usually how we work as a team. She puts him to bed so I can do this without interruptions. And I don't mind having my kid with me right now. I usually have him with me all the time, but you know, when we're together as a couple, it just makes it much easier because then we have different tasks, right? She helps me with that while I do the news and everything else. So anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. If you like what we do, like, you know what to do. I'll catch you tomorrow, guys, for sure. I hope you have a great day. Let's hope the market doesn't keep on crashing. We have some bullish signs that we can play off. Let's hope we don't actually end up undoing those bullish signs, and we actually end up going even farther down, right, than we are expecting right now. But again, we should expect to see some price action to the upside. Potentially, we can still go down a little bit more, right? Get that red momentum that I was talking about, right? A red bar here, and then we can anchor it to there, and then we create that divergence, and then we have that pump, right? So again, just keep an eye out for this divergence that is developing. It's not fully developed yet. It's still going on. So again, you know what to do, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow.